Okay, so on page 44, what we're going to do today in this lesson, I've already kind of introduced you to a lot of it, so it wasn't so much new stuff at once. It talks about place and value. So like if you have a 2 in the tenths place, what is its value? If you have a 2 in the tenths place, what is its value, Addie? 2 tenths. Okay, so that's part of it, picking out what number's in what place. But then writing these in expanded form. And again, yesterday we did one example. So last year you did expanded form, and I call that 4th grade expanded form because you stretched out the number a little bit, but this year it wants us to stretch it out a little bit more. So when we're doing 5th grade expanded form, we usually go to 4th grade first. So we go from standard, we stretch it out a little bit, and then we stretch it out the rest of the way. So that's why I had you get out a piece of loose leaf, because they give us one line to do all of that work. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of the expanded form on loose leaf, because not only can we write it in 4th grade expanded form, 5th grade expanded form, we can write 5th grade expanded form 2 different ways if there's decimals or fractions involved. Okay, so we're just going to jump in with some examples, because again, you already know everything you need to know. I just have to show you how to do the new stuff. So I'm on the guided practice on page 44. It says circle the digit in the tenths place. What number is in the tenths place? Braylon? The 1. See, this is supposed to be brand new today. Circle the digit in the hundredths place. Ava, what number is in the hundredths place? The 3. Write each number in standard form. What is standard form, Gabe? Just a regular old number. Yep, the regular old number is just standard form. So, what word do you see in number 3 that we need to know what that word means? Aubrey? Okay, hundredths. We have to know what hundredths means. What else do we need to know what it means? Emma? And. What does and mean when it's in a decimal number?
It means it's before the decimal, it's a whole number.
Okay, but when I see the word and, what do I write down on my paper? A decimal point. Let's make a note of that. And equals, and make a big decimal point. When we see the word and, that's when we put our decimal point. And then this word is important because it tells me what? What does the word hundredths tell me here? Lainey? That means I need 2 decimal places. That tells me how many places I need. So if I have like a 1-digit number, I would have to make it a 2-digit number by adding what? Zeros. Okay, so who can tell me what does 5 and 87 hundredths look like? Addie J? 5.87. Now, this next thing looks kind of crazy, okay? But we take it step by step. What is 2 times 10? 20. Under that, let's write 20. Underline it and write 20. Plus, what's 6 times 1? 6. Plus, what do you think 9 times 1/10 is, Carter? 9/10. I'm going to write that under here. Plus, what's 1 times 1/100th? Fisher? Don't overthink it. 1/100th, yep. So that's 1/100th. Plus 4 times 1,000th. Hutley? 4/1,000. When I write it like that, even though you guys didn't do fractions last year, does that kind of look like 4th grade expanded form? Plus some fractions, okay? But it wants the answer in standard form. What is the whole number in my answer? Kinley? 26, because we know 20 plus 6 is 26. Now, in standard form, do we write them as fractions like that? No, we do a decimal number. But so these fractions tell me what number goes in the tenths place? 9. What number goes in the hundredths place? What number goes in the thousandths place? 4. So my answer is 26.914. Good job. Write 19.4 in expanded form, then write it in word form. Let's go to our loose leaf. I'm going to pull up my loose leaf. Title it page 44, 45. We're actually going to probably staple this into our book when we're done with it. Title your loose leaf page 44, 45. Maybe some from 46. I don't know if we'll get there. Okay, and what number is this? 5? 5. Okay? Now, it gives us the number 19.4. What do we call that form? Carter? Standard form. So let's write standard. We're going to kind of organize everything. Standard form is 19.4. It asks for it in word form and expanded form. Okay? We're going to do word form first. And you'll see why in a second. Expanded's going to take us a few lines. How do we say that number properly? How do we say that number properly? Gabe? What do we say in place of the decimal point? Good job. 19 and 4 tenths. When we are naming decimals or when we're calling them by name, you really I cover it up at the decimal point. You say everything in front of that as if you would normally say a number. So we just see 19. Then we say the word and then after it, you say the number exactly how you typically would. So I'm going to write another one up here. You don't have to write this one. Okay, if that was my number, I would cover it up at the decimal point. What number do you see when I cover it up, Hutley?
206.
So we would just say, what did you say?
206.
There you go. Did you say that the first time, or did you throw in the word and? Okay, I thought you said 216. Why can't we say 216? Elise?
Because then it would be a decimal.
Yeah, a lot of people, we say it wrong when we're saying big numbers. We throw in the word and. And is only for decimal points. So this is 216 and, oops. And then I say the number I see after the decimal point, 986. But what do I always need to add? Addie? The place. Yeah, the place of the last digit. So 986 thousandths. Okay, let's go back here. So now for expanded form. I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging than what they expect from you, because I expect a lot from you guys. So we're going to do 4th grade expanded. Under that, we're going to do 5th expanded as a fraction. What do you think the last way we're going to do? How else can we write fractions? Decimals. We're going to do 5th expanded in decimals. Because again, when I see this on tests, like on FastBridge or on the IAR test, it won't give you a number and say, write this in expanded form. It'll give you a whole list of expanded forms and say which ones are equal to 19.4. Okay, or it might even write it out in words and say, write all of these that are equivalent, which means are the same. So who can help me with 4th grade expanded form? 4th grade expanded form. Lexi? And this is new. The decimals is a new part.
0.4.
0.4, but we do 0.4. Yep. Anytime we have a decimal number, we always just put that 0 out in front if there's nothing there. So 10 plus 9 plus 0.4 would be 4th grade expanded form. We took that little number and we stretched it out. 5th grade, we have to stretch it out a little bit more. Remember, we take each digit times its place. Each digit times its place. So I always look at the original. I start with my 1 times. What place is that 1 in, Lexi? The tens place, so 1 times 10 plus the 9. Gabe, what place is it in? The 1, so we do 9 times 1 plus, and this is as a fraction, so we want to write the place as a fraction here. Addie? Well, that's that as a fraction. So 4th grade, 5th grade, what place is that number in? Tenths. What can I multiply it by to show that it's in the tenths place? 4 times what? 1/10. Good job. 4 times, oops, made that too big. 4 times 1/10. Now, once you have the fraction one or the decimal, it's easy to convert it to the other. The whole numbers stay the same, so the decimal form, 1 times 10 plus 9 times 1, that doesn't change. We just write the decimal part of it different. How else could I write 1/10 but as a decimal? Kinley? 0.1. 4 times 0.1. Now, sometimes it's written like that. Sometimes they put parentheses around each set of multiplication problems just to show, hey, these two go together, these two go together. So I'm going to add them into just the fraction one or the decimal one, just so you get used to seeing it. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. Whether they are or are not, they're both correct. Why does it really not matter? Who can answer that? If I have parentheses around these or not. Who can tell me why it really doesn't matter? Braylon?
Because they're all multiplications and you're supposed to go left to right.
Because order of operations, multiplication comes before what? Addition. And it's all multiplication and addition. So if we were doing the math here, we would have multiplied that one and then that one and then that one and then added them together last. So sometimes you see it with parentheses, sometimes you see it without. They're both correct. Okay, it's more of just an organization tool to help us see them a little bit neater. And I think the one they gave us had parentheses, didn't it? Yeah, so like number 4, see how they put parentheses around it? Okay, we're going to go back to the book for the next example because there's room for us to work it in the book. Let me get to the next page. Okay, so on these ones, I'm going to give you a second to try these, but pay attention to the directions. What is it asking me for? You can't see mine, but Gabe, what's it asking for?
Name the place of the highlighted digit.
Keep reading.
Then write the value of the digit.
So it's asking you to write the place of the highlighted digit and the value. Okay? If you're naming a place, you use words. If you're giving a value, you give a number. Okay? So maybe make a note for yourself that place is a word, value is a number. Okay, what kind of words will we use for places? What kind of words name places? Aubrey? Hundreds. Addie? Tenths, thousands, tens, hundreds, millions. Okay, those are all places. Values are like 6/10, 5/10, 600ths. Okay, I'm going to give you a second to try and get those 6 completed. Both answers. I got my pen. Okay, number 6. What place is it in, Elise?
100.
It's in the hundredths place. And that's why I keep saying it the same way so that that's kind of your thought process. If you have a 7 in the hundredths place, what is its value, Addie J?
700.
700ths. Did you write it as a fraction or a decimal? Decimal, how did you write it?
0.07.
0.07. Or how else could we write it? Lexi?
7 over 100.
7 over 100. Okay, because that's the exact same thing, just written 2 different ways. Okay, it's like writing your name in print or in cursive. It still says your name. It just looks a little bit different. Number 7, Kinley. What place? It's in the tenths place, and if you have a 5 in the tenths place, what is its value?
0.5.
0.5 or what, Hutley?
5/10.
Or 5/10. Good job. Next one. Gabe.
Thousands.
It's in the thousandths place. It's in the thousandths place. If you have a 2 in the thousandths place, Aubrey, what is its value?
2 over 5.
Okay, 2 thousandths, which is 2 over 1,000. Wyatt, how do I write that as a decimal?
0.002.
Good job, 0.002. Number 9, Clara, what place is that? It is the tenths place. Augie, if I have a 4 in the tenths place, what is its value?
0.4.
Okay, 0.4. And McKay, how else could I write that?
Or
4 over 10, yep. Next one. Go ahead, Hutley. Thousandths place. Aiden, if I have an 8 in the thousandths place, what is its value?
0.008.
Good job. Or what, Bryson? 8 over 1,000. Good job. Next one, number 11, Elise.
100.
Hundredths. Lainey, if we have a 1 in the hundredths place, what is its value? 1 over 100. Fisher, how else can I write that?
0.01.
0.01. Okay. Okay, the next set is asking us just to write it in standard form. We're also going to do the decimal expanded of these two just to give us a little more practice of that. We'll do that on our loose leaf. So we're going to kind of go back and forth between this and loose leaf. So 13 and 9/10. 13 and 9/10. Addie B, what does that look like in standard form? 0.9, good job. If I wanted to write that as a fraction, or it would be a mixed number, what would that be as a mixed number? And if it wanted that, it would say write it as a mixed number. Addie?
13 and 9 over 10.
Yeah, 13 and then a 9 over 10. A 13 is your whole number and 9/10. 50 and 6/100. Lexi, do you know that one? 50 and 6/100.
50.06.
Good job. She got the tricky part. What was the tricky part on this one? The 0. What do you think a common wrong answer is, Aiden? And how would we say that? 50 and
6/10.
good job. 50 and 6/10. Okay, for the next one, underneath of it, we're going to do a little bit of math just so we can kind of see what's going on. Gabe, tough one. What's 1 times 10? 10. Even harder. 1 times 1, Hutley. 1. 9 times 10. Elise? 9 tenths. 2 times 1/100th, Lexi? 2 over 100. And Ava, do the last one. 3 over 1,000. I'm just trying to get you to see these in different forms so you're used to seeing them and you realize they're all the same thing. Now, the trick on these ones is sometimes they skip a place. So before I write my number in standard form, because if they skip a place, what number goes there? 0. We can't just leave it empty because then all the numbers would push over. So we have a tens place, ones place, tenths, hundreds, thousandths. Did they skip anything? What is my standard form, Emma?
11 and 923.
Good job. 11 and 923 thousandths. Because of time, I lied. We're not going to do decimals there. We'll do them on the bottom ones. Okay, next one. Elia, what's 7 times 10? 70. Mason, what's 1 times 1/10?
Just
1/10. Fisher, what's 5 times 1/1000th? 5 thousandths. Now, on this one, did they skip some places? Yeah, and the whole numbers are pretty easy. What's 70 plus nothing? 70. So my whole number is 70, but it's because they skipped the ones place, so I have a 0 in the ones place. Do I have something in the tenths place? What is in the tenths place? A 1. Do I have anything in the hundredths place? Yes, what is it? A 0, because I have to have something there, but it has to be something that represents nothing, so it's 0. And what is in my thousandths place? 5. Okay, I want you guys to try the last two. Try 16 and 17. Once you have it, look up at the board and see if you agree. If you have questions, just raise your hand. Fisher, stay facing this way, please. Okay, any questions on those two? Okay, we're going to do the bottom two on loose leaf because it says write each number in expanded form, then write it in word form. So these are going to take up several lines on our loose leaf. So I'm going to flip back. What number is this, Elise? 18? Okay. So we will start with 18. Okay, we're going to start with our standard form. What is the standard form that it gave me? Wyatt, what's it asking me to work with here? Just read it to me.
0.917.
There we go, 0.917. Let's always go to word form if it asks for it next, just because I like to have all of my expandeds like in a row because they kind of build off of each other. How do we say that number properly? And you don't have to say the 0. Addie? 917 thousandths. 917 thousandths. We'll call it 4EX, 5EX. And do fractions first or decimals first, Wyatt? Fractions, okay. EXF, 5EXD. What does all that stand for? 4EX, 5EXF, 5EXD. Elise, can you translate?
Fourth grade expanded form, fifth grade expanded form with fractions, fifth grade expanded form with decimals.
Good job. Okay. Fourth grade. Who thinks they can do fourth grade even though you didn't do decimals in fourth grade? But the idea of fourth grade expanded form on a fifth grade problem. Gabe, go for it. And it doesn't matter if you do fractions or decimals for fourth grade. I'll let you decide. 0.9, okay.
Plus
0.01. 0.007. Yep. Okay. Fraction. Fifth grade expanded fraction. Who thinks they can do this? Addie, go ahead. 9 times 1/10, because we have a 9 in the tenths place. Okay. Keep going. Okay, good job. Keep going. Good job. Decimals. Who thinks they can do the decimals? Once you have one or the other, it's pretty easy to flip them. Fisher, can you flip those fractions to decimals for me? So how would we start? We start it the same. 9 times 0.1, good job, plus 1 times 0.1. It still has to say 100th plus 7 times 1. It still has to say 1,000. So it says the same thing. This is 1/10 as a fraction, 1/10 as a decimal. 1/100th as a fraction, 1/100th as a decimal. Hey, Jackson, I don't want you to just copy because you have to know, you'll have to watch the video so you know how to do it, okay? Okay, let's go down to 19. Why is 19 going to be a little bit trickier? Elise?
Nothing in the tenth.
Okay, we're missing a spot. We're missing a place. What else? Emma?
It has like two. It has like a whole number.
What?
It has like a whole number in the beginning.
Yeah, it's a bigger number, okay? So, number 19. Standard form. Emily, can you just read me the number that it's wanting me to work with? Just read me the digits. just read me the numbers. So 69409. 69.409. Okay, we're just going to skip to who can say it properly. We're not going to write it out in words. Who can say it properly? Aubrey?
69 and 409,000.
Good job. 409 thousandths is the word that people usually leave off. Let's go to fourth expanded. Then we'll go to 5 expanded in fractions and 5 expanded in decimals. Fourth expanded, who can do it? Go ahead, Hutley.
60 plus 9 plus 0.4 plus 0.009.
Good job. So why did we skip the hundredths place? Hutley, why did you skip the hundredths place?
It was a 0.
Yeah, there was nothing there. Okay, who thinks they can give that to me in 5th grade expanded form using fractions? Go ahead, Elise.
60 plus 9.
Hold on. Nope, we got to stretch it out more. 4th grade expanded form, we stretched it out to here.
6 times 10.
Good job. So it's, yep, the digit times its place. So 6 times 10 because it's in the tens place. Okay, keep going.
Plus 9. 9 times 1.
Okay, good job.
Plus 0.9.
Nope, the digit, what number is it? 4,
Times 0.1.
but this is our fractions. So how do we write 0.1 is a fraction?
1 over 10.
1/10. Okay, keep going.
9 over 1. 9 times 1,000.
1 over 1,000. Because there was nothing in the hundredths place, so I have no hundredths. Decimal version of that, Kinley?
6 times 10.
Yep, the whole numbers stay the same.
Plus 1 times 9.
Backwards. 9 times 1. You always do the digit times its place, okay?
Plus 4 times 0.1.
Okay.
Plus 9 times 0.001.
Okay, good job. Okay, now this piece of loose leaf, you're going to have to do some of your homework probably on the back side of it, okay? So your homework, flip to page 47. On 47, you can do all of that in the book because it's just asking you to write it in standard form or pick out a place and a value. So on numbers 1, 2, and 3, there are 2 answers. So underline place and value.
A Sharpie tub that we could use for art, like some Sharpies.
I mean, I have some. Hold on, give me just a second. Where are you at? Across the hall?
Oh, we're
Okay, I'll walk him down there in just a sec.
Miss Becker.
Okay.
Miss Fees room.
So on numbers 1 through 3, you have 2 answers. 4 and 5, what are you writing them in? Standard form, maybe underline standard form so you don't do too much work. And write it in like expanded or words. Okay, then flip the page. For 6, 7, and 8, I want you to write on loose leaf. Okay, and I want you to do it like we did 18 and 19. So you will set up standard form, 4th grade expanded, 5th grade expanded as fractions, 5th grade as decimals. Okay, so write on loose leaf, and I want you to write 4 rows each, just so you don't forget that one we need all, I want it all 4 ways. It gives it to us in standard, so that's one of them. You just copy it. Yes? Yeah, because this says in expanded and then work. Sorry, so 5 rows, right? 5 rows. And then you can stop there. You don't have to do 9, 10, and 11. We'll do those together tomorrow. Okay, because these ones will take you a while. Or sorry, 6, 7, and 8 Whew. Losing my mind here. Okay, but tuck your loose leaf into your book because that's where you will do problems 6, 7, and 8. Okay? And you guys can go ahead and go. I'll see you tomorrow.